let's move on to the Fantastic Four First Steps. This is rated PG-13. It's an hour and 55 minutes. Bless you for not making this over 2 hours. This is obviously produced by Marvel. It's a superhero action-adventure, commercial, directed by Matt Shakman. It stars Pedro Pascal again, Vanessa Kirby, Ebon Moss-Bachrach, and Joseph Quinn. Well, it's been longer than 72 hours since Marvel released a movie, which means, you guessed it, it's time for another one. This time, we are following the third iteration of the Fantastic Four team and taking their first steps toward becoming a major franchise. Like I said in my Superman review, what Marvel has done to cinema is hard for me to forgive, and even harder for me to sit through and watch. They are anathema to every movie that made me the person I am today. Need not say my expectations for a Fantastic Four First Steps were quite low. And unsurprisingly, actual fans I happened to be sitting next to at the theater agreed with me that their expectations were also low. Considering how many times Marvel has tried to produce the Fantastic Four and failed, even when their studio was good, attempts like Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer quickly ended their plans for a bigger franchise. Could First Steps actually be the thing that brings Fantastic Four to the big screen? It's a film that benefits from our collective low expectations. First Steps takes place on Earth 828, which is what I assume is an alternate universe Earth. They're in a very retro-looking timeline, where their analog devices are advanced enough to talk and walk around. Huge credit to the production designer Kazra Farahani and the entire art team behind this film. It does look awesome. The cast I had thought I had surely seen in these roles before, but this is actually the first time in these suits. I thought they had existed before. This is the first time this team is together. Pedro Pascal, he's totally miscast in this part. He's too old. He's a great actor, I like him a lot, he's just being thrown into everything and he doesn't belong in this franchise whatsoever. But with that being said, including him, they all do a pretty good job. They all act the parts out pretty well. Where First Steps doesn't work for me, once again, is where every Marvel film fails: the writing. The Fantastic Four are well established on Earth 828, even leading the country through diplomatic talks with other nations. They are very well liked and have been superpowered for years already. We don't see their origin, very similar to how Superman 2025 starts mid-action. Reed Richards, Pedro Pascal, intercepts a transmission from deep space. It's a warning in an alien language. The Silver Surfer, played by Julia Gardner, who, I know there's a lot of talk about the gender swap here. I think Julia Gardner is the best part of this movie. She is awesome as Silver Surfer. Everybody who is complaining about it being a woman needs to shut the fuck up. The Silver Surfer descends onto Earth, and to inform them that they are now been marked for death. Galactus is coming. When I was a kid, I used to play WizKids, and I remember Galactus in that huge WizKid, figure. This is a character I always wanted to see adapted to screen. Director Matt Shakman does an excellent job at establishing the scale of Galactus. He is massive, although I'm still not quite sure how he's capable of eating an entire planet when he's still small enough to fit into Times Square. Whatever. What becomes a problem, and is the problem with all of the movies, is the gaping lack of tension. Let's be real. Johnny, Joseph Quinn, Sue Storm, Vanessa Kirby, Ben, Ebon Moss-Bachrach, Reed Richards, Pedro Pascal, they're all going to be fine. They're never in any real danger because we know this entire movie is just an ad for the next movie, which we know that they're going to be a part of. There is no suspense because the purpose of these movies isn't to tell a good story, it's to make money. Reed Richards is a genius, right? His plan to save Earth is to transport it away from Galactus, literally beam the planet from here to here. Where have I seen this plan before?
We should take Bikini Bottom and push it somewhere else!
That idea may just be crazy enough to get us all killed!
That's right. It's the exact same plan Patrick Star has in SpongeBob when the giant worm is heading toward their town. Every time, the studio thinks the only way to make the movie exciting is to be so big, over the top, and just goddamn stupid. I can't help but sink lower and lower in my seat, embarrassed for the fans who just want a good movie. Is Fantastic Four First Steps bad? No. In fact, I'd say it's among the best of Marvel's 38 commercials in their shared universe. But that still only makes it a good commercial. Like all of their films, the most exciting point for the audience is the end credits scene. Could you imagine if you had walked out of Saving Private Ryan and said, wow, the end credits scene? You know, I mean, like, any of the most famous... Forrest Gump. Imagine just going like, wow, that movie was fucking boring, but, you know, when Jenny, you know, did karaoke during the credits, wow, that was great, man. I mean, like, how did we fucking get here? This is why Xanax This is why Xanax exists. You know, I can't help but, you know, acknowledge that, like, the entire time I'm watching this movie, the audience is sitting there on their phone, utterly uninterested in what's going on, because there is nothing really going on. There's no tension drawing their attention. I mean, look, I've basically resigned myself to never getting a real superhero movie ever again. I accept that. I get it. You know, they had an opportunity here, and once again, they just made another infomercial for their catalog of characters with no depth or authenticity to them. I hate Marvel. I hate what they stand for. I hate their movies. I hate everything that they've done since 2008. And this movie isn't really much of an exception, but at least there's an effort in the art department. 2.5, I guess. You know, I mean, awarding star value to a commercial is like, you know, saying your favorite Super Bowl ad. I just can't believe we're paying $25 per ad. You know? I mean, guys, what are we doing here? What is happening? What the